What's good, y'all? It's your boy, No Big Deal, and this is Creative Control, the podcast where we dive into music, God, and the intersection of creativity and faith. Today on the podcast, we have incredible rapper, viral sensation, Childlike CiCi.
Hello.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. I've been with you all weekend. You were just at Holy Smoke.
Yes, sir.
How was that experience for you?
Holy Smoke lived up to the hype.
Okay.
That's the first thing I'll say. It lived up to the hype. I've been to different things. I've seen things. It may look one way online, but then when you get there, but this was like, it lived up to the hype.
Okay.
I felt the energy. I felt the love. I can tell, like, you guys have really cultivated an audience of real, pure, loving CHH fans.
Yeah.
And I felt the spirit, like, it felt great. Like, Holy Smoke was amazing. And then even getting to see all the artists, that was like a blessing. Just to see so many people come together to support the movement was just amazing to see and really give it their all. Like, it was great. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Ooh. If you don't invite me back next year, I'm going to be offended.
Oh, shoot. Okay. All right. Nah, but yeah, a lot of people have talked about that, about the crowd specifically. Like, the crowd at Holy Smoke, I feel like it's just different. Like, you've been in front of a lot of different crowds.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like the energy, they're like real music lovers. Like, they actually are there for the music.
Yes.
Like, they're invested. Like, but yeah, I mean, I think your set like resonated heavy with them.
Yeah.
Like, we were talking before we started rolling, but your use of like your background dancers, like I had never seen that before. I thought it was really fire. Like, you had this unique moment where they were like following you around stage. Like, what inspired like kind of your stage show, like putting that together?
So this came together on accident, for lack of a better word. I didn't plan to do this at first. I've never actually used background dancers or anything.
Okay. So your first time was at Holy Smoke?
Yes.
Wow.
First time with dancers. I'm trying to make sure I'm not lying, but I'm pretty sure I'm not lying. That's my first time with dancers. But they were supposed to do another show. And I got to tell you this, because that was a blessing to them. Is like, when I say they were like sincerely so grateful to be on that stage, like, that is like an understatement. Right. But basically, the girls and stuff that were on stage with me actually participated in like a competition to win a chance to do a show with, I think, like DKG Kai or somebody.
Oh, okay.
In Atlanta. Okay. But that show got canceled. Right. So like the person who ran the competition hit me up and was basically like, hey, we noticed you're going to be at Holy Smoke. Would you happen to want dancers? We have some ladies kind of telling me the situation. Yeah. And I was like, I never done it before, but sure. Yeah, I'll do it. Then I happened to be in Atlanta for a wedding like last week. So I met with them and kind of rehearsed with them. And then
Portia's wedding, right?
Portia's wedding.
Shout out Portia.
Shout out to Portia and Donatello. Yeah. That's my brother and sister. But so I was there for the wedding. So I met up with them. We rehearsed and stuff. But like two of the girls in particular were telling me basically last year they were at Holy Smoke. Oh, wow. And I want to say, did Portia, someone had dancers, I think.
Did Portia have dancers? Yeah, Portia did have dancers.
Someone had dancers, and they were like, we were looking on stage, and we're like, we're going to be up there one day. Yeah. Like, that whole spiel of, like, them just admiring what was going on. So for this year, for them to actually be up there was, like, it meant so much to them. Like, they were crying, like, all type of stuff. Like, I'm telling you.
I mean, they went hard, though. It was fire. I think it really accentuated, like, what you had going on, too. I think they matched your energy. Like, it was
They're important, though. The dancers in Christian hip-hop, I think, is important to the space. We see how it works in mainstream type of dance stuff and going on. Like, but it's important. Like, that they have that opportunity.
That's one of the reasons I really appreciated it, is because it was, like, it was really thoughtful choreography. It wasn't just the same thing you see all the time. Like, they actually thought through it. Like I said, they were tapped in with your energy as well. Like, they weren't just doing their own thing while you're like performing. And I thought that was like very creative. It's crazy that it came together. Like,
they finna be happy we talking about it right now. Wait till they see this interview.
Yeah. What's the name of their like their group? Do they have a name, or like?
I'm gonna take the time right now.
Yeah, we gotta shout them out.
It's gonna take me a few seconds.
We gotta shout them out because they did their thing.
Bear with me. Few seconds. And we got it. Visually Creative LLC is the name of the group.
Okay, Visually Creative LLC. Shout out to them, man. Yeah, hopefully they get some more
opportunities. Yes, please reach out to them, y'all.
Yeah, and we got it on video too, so you can use that as well. Okay, so let's back up a little bit. So for people who don't necessarily know, how did we first meet? Like, when did we first meet?
We first met, if I'm not mistaken, on Glory Nights tour. I was happy to see you, bro. Like, I told you, I was like, dude, like, you literally like top 2, like rapping bars and stuff for me. And I'll get into that whole thing if we have the opportunity to talk about it. But so we met at Glory Nights tour. Got some opportunities in between shows and stuff to chop it up. Yeah. Really genuine person you are. Gave me a lot of good advice, stuff like that. So that's how we met. Yeah.
Was that your first like tour?
Yeah.
You have been on?
Yep.
Crazy. Yeah. I mean, I think that the energy that you bring is just it's surprising that you haven't been doing this for a while. You know what I mean? Because I think and we talked shop. We talked about like ways you could elevate and stuff like that, but even with that, it's like you're not timid on stage, you know what I mean? Like, you're not you don't look nervous, you don't look like you're kind of like trying to figure it out, like you have this like air of confidence about you. And so I think it's like people who see you, they be like, what, like she hasn't been doing this for 10 years, you know? She hasn't been so when did you actually start like making music, pursuing music, like?
So, like, professionally, for lack of better words, in like 2022. I got like a whole testimony. We got time? We can go back.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we definitely have time.
All right, so basically, and feel free to stop me at any point, but basically in like around 2019, I had started to post like videos. I would like post myself like freestyling or just like rapping over beats, stuff like that. But during that time, I was basically like making music for the world. I hadn't really released a song or anything. Okay. But I was just posting.
I didn't know this. Okay.
Yeah, I was posting this stuff. Yeah. You ain't know because everything basically got deleted, but I'll get to that point. But but I was posting stuff like that, like 2019, and around that time is when I gave my life to Christ. Basically, my testimony, and I would say coincidentally, but I feel like when we call things coincidence, it's like robbing God of like, no, that's not a coincidence. Right. But music was like one of the first things God actually delivered me from as it related to just wholeheartedly like surrendering to him. So I was making those videos, and I basically had an experience to where I got like a DM from a page. They were saying they were the Illuminati. I'm sure the Illuminati don't DM crazy. People.
Yeah, I doubt it. Think so. I highly doubt it.
So I basically had laughed at the DM, but God really used like this silly moment, quote unquote, to really get to me. Like, I laughed at the DM, and the DM basically was like, yeah, we're recruiting people and we want to recruit you this year and X, Y, and Z. Crazy. And I started to have actual thoughts though. I was like, yo, it is crazy that people is out here really selling their souls for fame and money. Like killing family members and doing all that extra stuff. I was like, I would never do nothing like that. And it's like literally like internally, I don't know when people feel like when they say like God spoke to them, like what that means to them. But it was like, it was almost like an audible voice, but not quite an audible voice, but it was like a knowing of knowing like, this is not my thought that I'm having. And he basically was just telling me like, yeah, you're doing the same thing. And I'm like, how am I doing the same thing? And he was like, you're using the gifts that I gave you to glorify drugs, violence, fornication, like all these different things. Like, what kingdom do you think you're working for? What do you think you're promoting? And why are you doing it? You're doing it for the same reasons. You're doing it because you want to be famous, you want to be rich, X, Y, and Z. So he basically just started showing me like in that moment, people, not to say those other extra stuff don't happen. Like, I'm sure people really be doing seances and all that stuff, but it's actually not that deep. Right. Like, yes, talk about that. You can be selling your soul simply by literally working for the enemy's kingdom, for lack of better words. So I had that revelation, and then from like that next day, maybe it wasn't the next day. Some other like personal stuff happened during that time, but like not too far after that, I just decided like I'm about to just delete everything. Like I deleted or deactivated like all my socials. And I really just started to focus on God. Like I had I didn't even have any intentions on like, oh, I'm about to switch to Christian music.
Yeah.
It was just like, I'm done with this. Like God doesn't want me to do this. He started to deliver me from other stuff like marijuana, like all different type of stuff. So I was like, I'm just going to focus on my relationship with God. So that was like 2019. And then come like 2022, I felt like he was calling me back to make music, but I didn't think that I could rap. Like I didn't think I could like Christian rap.
Yeah.
I remember at one point.
Why did you think?
I didn't really see it.
Okay.
I didn't see that as a thing. The only person I knew of was Lecrae.
Right.
I had heard the Lecrae Blessing song.
Yeah.
And I knew, and Kanye West. Okay. Those were the only two people. And because Kanye West had did the Jesus is King, I think. Yeah. Back in 2019. So those were the only two people I knew of. But I knew how I rapped.
Yeah.
And I was like, that music is great. Like, I still think that Jesus is King is like one of the, I know Kanye going through stuff, like pray for Kanye, but I still think that's like one of the best albums put together. But it sounded really commercial and stuff. It wasn't like how I rap. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's where you come into play too. That's what I'm trying to, I'm gonna get there. But pretty much I didn't think I could make that type of music.
Right.
So I started to do, I actually started in 2022, like in March. I was making like singing songs.
Okay. Because
I was like, no one's gonna, like, I can't Christian rap. I ain't see nobody rapping in church. Again, Kanye and Lecrae, I heard of them, but their stuff sounded like something I
Can I ask you, did you, when you heard like Lecrae, did you think that, like, and you were still in the world, did you think it was dope? You thought it sounded dope?
Yeah, so that's the thing. The first time I heard Lecrae, I was still in the world, and that was when I heard the Blessing song. I thought it was dope, but it really didn't resonate, if that makes sense. Like sonically, like it was dope. I was singing along the song, stuff like that. But I think where I was like spiritually, like I would rather listen to something that kind of matched what I was living, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No,
I
just
want to. It's
a good question.
Yeah.
Dang, where was I though? I forgot.
You were saying that you didn't think that you could rap. You were.
So I didn't think I could rap.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna make singing songs. That wasn't really going too well. But then I slowly did start to discover people, and you were one of the first people. I want to say it was the lowercase tape that I found. And I listened to that like front to back like 100 times.
Crazy. Okay.
Like, no cap.
Yeah.
But that to me sounded more like vibe. Like it sounded like, I'm like, this is something like I would want to do. Like it sounds vibey. It sounded like the style I know that I was like already good at. Not quite, because I think your style is like extremely unique and set apart in its own. But just more of like, not like as like commercial
right.
sounding,
I know what you mean.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like I discovered like Jay Monty. It was different people I started discovering where I'm like, yo, they're really like rapping. They really got bars. This is really good, not because it's Christian rap. This is actually just hard. Like like even when I would start putting other people onto it. They would say the same thing. That's not even where I was at spiritually.
Right.
It was like, no, this is fire. Like quoting the bars, like all that stuff. So it was around like October, I think, of 2022. I finally like put out a song, and that was after I really just started rapping again online, and people were just like, hey, is this a song? Is this on Spotify? Is this on Tidal, Apple Music, whatever? And I'm like, no, but I can put it on there. So then long story short, that's how I got here. Okay,
so before, like, did you grow up rapping, like when you were like a kid and everything? Like,
yeah, so I've been rapping all my life, but I didn't really tell like nobody I could rap. Like my family knew, like my siblings and like my cousins, but I wouldn't tell like people at school, like nothing like that I could rap, because I knew a few rappers who did rap in school and stuff, and then everybody would be like, rap. And I was so scared of that, because I was like really shy. Like even when you're talking about how I am on stage and stuff now, that's purely God, because I dealt with like anxiety and shyness like a lot growing up. Okay. Yeah, so I was like, I wouldn't tell nobody, but I was always rapping. I was always anything artistic, writing short stories, poems, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's so interesting that like you say like you naturally are more of a shy person, because even your delivery, like your rap style, is like very aggressive, which is something that I think sets you apart, especially like as a female rapper. It's like it cuts through, like your vocals cut through, like it's aggressive, and like that's what hooks people in.
I ain't gonna say I'm not really shy no more. I dealt with it, but I ain't really as shy now. But growing up, I was really shy.
So was your style different then, or was it still, did it still kind of have that aggressive like delivery?
Probably, if I can remember. Because like I said, I didn't really cut songs. I was just like rapping. But I did do like a lot of like, I was definitely inspired by like battle rap and stuff.
Okay.
So like,
I can hear that.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So wait, where did you grow up?
I grew up, I'm just a move around person. Like I'm originally from New York, then we moved to Virginia, then North Carolina, but I would say North Carolina most of my life. Okay,
but you were born in New York. In Brooklyn?
Yes.
Oh, okay. How long were you there?
Just like 4 years.
So that's like similar to me. Like I was born in the Bay Area, and I was there like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And then I lived in Texas, Kentucky, Illinois, Florida, New York, and then here. So like very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very interesting, because I think that like me moving around like that contributed to my style. Like it's not really locked into like
one place.
You can hear elements, but it's not locked in. And I think that like those experience even like is the way I write and the way that I deliver. So it's interesting to me that you were that same way, and like my music resonated with you.
Yeah, that is crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like that. There's probably something behind that. Like you know, the reason that it like resonated with you. So you would say though you grew up in North Carolina?
Yeah, I would say so. North Carolina.
Yeah. And was it always, like you say you didn't tell people that you rapped, but was it always kind of a dream to do music, or did you think it was like, nah, this is just something that I do, but I'm probably going to do something else?
No, I really always knew, like, I would write fake speeches accepting awards.
Okay, so you were
like all type of stuff.
You were dreaming for real.
Yeah, like I was like I knew. I think at some point it felt like it wasn't a reality no more, because, you know, life just kick in and it's like, this ain't never going to happen.
Right.
But it was just something, it was just something in me that knew like, no, I'm going to do this. But I really think it took God like redirecting me. I feel like he purposely waited until it was like, no, you're going to do this for me, and then I'm going to allow things to go right. Like in life, and in the music. It's like he allowed both things to be in place, because had I really blew up when I was attempting to do secular rap and living in the world and stuff, I would probably be, because like I said, I was like doing all type of stuff. I'd probably be in jail, dead, and done, crashed out somewhere. If he would have allowed it to like me to really get deep into that.
Right. So when you were doing that, was it like street music that you were doing, or was it more?
I was rapping like crazy.
Okay.
I was rapping. It's like, I don't really even know an artist to compare it to, like a female.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. It was like it wasn't kind of like the female rap wave that's going on right now.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that.
It was more street.
Yeah.
So basically, like your style now is like a redeemed version
for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Got you. That makes sense.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I could hear that. Like I said, the aggression, like the way that like the rhythms you choose on the drums and everything. Like,
yeah, and even then I wasn't really like, look, that's why not in like a prideful way, but I don't really like compare myself, because I really wasn't even like, oh, I'm gonna copy this, like, you know how some people have like the influence, like they try to I was just rapping.
Yeah, for sure.
Besides, like I said, maybe like some of like the battle rap influence of me just liking battle rap, because of, I really liked battle rap then because of the bars. Yeah. So that's why artists like you, different people really attract me, because I'm like, they spit and they got like bars in their music.
So let's talk about battle rap a little bit, because, you know, on this podcast, we talk about the intersection of creativity and faith, and so I like to talk about different art forms. So battle rap, there's probably a lot of people who
they don't even know what it
is. There's a lot of people who are listening to this podcast or watching it who probably don't necessarily know what battle rap is. Maybe their introduction to battle rap is like probably like 8 Mile or something like that. You know, I'm saying like to a mainstream audience, like they're like, oh, I know what battle rap is. It's kind of like it's kind of like that, and they might not understand the differences and nuances between just rapping a cappella, you know what I'm saying, and battle rap. So can you kind of break down like the art form, like?
Yeah, maybe I can try.
From your perspective.
I'm about to say, battle rap procedures don't come from me.
Yeah, no, I'm saying just from somebody who enjoys battle rap.
Yeah, you know where the camera at again?
This the camera, but you could just you don't have to look at the camera. But if you, I mean, if you're trying to go at the audience right now,
no, I was just wondering. All right, so basically, it's basically like artists going, in most of the cases, like two artists. I've seen it to where it's like multiple artists competing against each other, but in most cases, like you versus one artist versus another artist, basically giving their best delivery a cappella. So it's normally no beat in most cases, and they're just going bar for bar against each other. A lot of times it does equate to like dissing each other. Yeah. Probably 9.5 times out of 10. Yeah. That's what's happening, but I don't really know how to describe it. It's like this two artists really just going bar for bar. Yeah. And really you just have to stand on like kind of like your delivery and your bars. Because it's like no beat or anything to back you up. Like that's really the forefront of it. So,
and I think some probably misconceptions like for casual rap fans who are thinking more of like 8 Mile, which is very different than what you said. It's on a beat. It's freestyle, right? Yeah. So there are rebuttals. There's some freestyle aspect of battle rap, but it's mostly written, which I think a lot of people don't know that. Yeah. It's like research. It's like these dudes been researching
each other,
their opponents' whole lives for weeks, at least, and they're writing these rounds like to kind of pick apart their opponent, and at the same time as you're trying to win the crowd over of like, oh, I've picked this person apart. Yeah. The best, you also have to have the best bars. Yes. So like you have to have the best metaphors, the best name flips, like the best rhyme schemes. Like
you can't just it gotta all come together.
Yeah, you can't just be like, he's lame. Like
you gotta like make it make sense.
Like, and so I think that for me as somebody who like really appreciates lyricism, what I admire about battle rap is just like the attention to detail. Yeah. Because you can't hide behind a beat. Nope. You know what I mean? You can't hide. I mean, delivery goes a long way in battle rap, but you can't hide behind like, auto-tune or like vibes or like nothing like that. Like, and these people listen to battle rap week after week, so you got to think of new ways. Yep. You know what I mean? I think a lot of the innovation as far as like people's pen goes is really coming from the battle rap community, to be honest.
I don't really watch, like I haven't watched it since just because the lyrical content. I just want to get at, I ain't telling y'all to go watch some battle rap because I ain't gonna hold y'all. They be talking crazy. Yeah. But I can see that though, as far as people like getting a lot of that from there. But it is Christian battle rappers.
Yeah. Shout out A Ward.
Saga.
Saga, for sure. Saga. Loso, you know what I mean? Street Hymns. There's more too.
The first time I seen Western, I was impressed. It's like God was always pulling on me to an extent. Cause even like seeing Saga for the first time when I was like watching battle rap heavy, I was like, dang, that's hard that he able to do that. Yeah. Like I definitely admired that. Yeah. So. Yeah, for sure. So your name, Childlike CiCi, where does that come from? And someone just asked me that earlier too. I was doing another convo type thing, but
well, it's super interesting name. Like it's like as soon as you see that, you don't forget it. You know what I mean?
So the childlike part comes from Matthew 18, just talking about. I think one of the disciples asked, or I don't know if it was disciples. Somebody asked, like, who's the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? I think it was the disciples.
It was. Yeah.
And Jesus said, like basically little children like this, like children like this. So it's more so speaking about having childlike faith, humility, just all the aspects that a child embodies.
Yeah.
Was where that came from. I was literally like reading, it's a version where it literally says like childlike faith. Like some, I don't know if it's Matthew 18 where it says that exactly, but somewhere it said like childlike. Like when I seen childlike, it just resonated with me, like those words exactly. And then CiCi is literally my nickname all my life.
Okay.
So I didn't want to, I really took a long time to pick like an artist name.
Yeah.
But I knew I didn't want to be called something that nobody really calls me. If the, like me having to like re-identify, like they calling me like I want my name to be Shay Shay now, and they're like CiCi, we don't know who's Shay Shay. Yeah. So I was like, I want to make sure it's like I knew I wanted to keep CiCi and just add something to the front. Yeah,
same thing with No Big Deal. It's like that way people can just call me Dill.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because Dill is like the same thing as CiCi. So it's like, this is my name. It's very easy for people to still call me Dill. I could just call you CiCi. I don't have to say the full thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so same type of thing with that. Your transition from mainstream rap into Christian rap, like was it hard on a personal level? Like that transition, did you lose like friends? Like what was happening during that time?
Yeah, so like I said, this was like 2019. I didn't lose any friends from the rap part because it's not like I was like, it was relationships I was building because I was actually, people in my area would say like she was about to be next. Like, because different managers, like a lot of different people was reaching out to me, different artists that if I named some of the artists, I would know some of the artists was reaching out wanting to work, like mainstream artists during that time. But I basically just deleted everything and like kind of went ghost from that point to 2022. So I didn't really lose. I lost friends and stuff from me basically like quitting smoking and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like
your actual life
like my actual life is what caused me to lose like friends and relationship over like just the music. And honestly, like I said, the hardest part with the music transition was just realizing that I could do Christian rap. Because again, I wasn't like someone who was like, oh, I'm gonna stop this and just do, like, I didn't even know it was a possibility. So it was trying to figure out, do people even want to hear this? Is this even acceptable? Is this going to be acceptable? I don't feel like anything is wrong with it, but I don't see anybody rapping in church. So it was more of that, was like the transition of just like being like, I can rap like I know I rap without having to like try to be somebody else, if that makes sense, to be accepted by people. So
why do you think that? Well, what type of churches did you come up in?
So I wasn't like really raised, like, I don't know, like, my mom and dad are ministers, but they got divorced when I was like really young, like 8 or something. So by the time we moved, I was like in and out of church. But I don't think I was in, you know how people be like Baptist and all this stuff? I don't know if I was. I think my church was like non-denominational or something.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Reason I asked is, I was going to ask you, why do you think like you, at least at that time, there wasn't rap in the church like that? What's your opinion on that?
I think I was just having this conversation with someone, like personally. I think for one, mainstream like media will almost have you to think this doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
Right? It literally took me to actually start searching for it. I feel like at least by the time I found out about Christian rap, like as much as I know about it now, as many artists as I know, it took me actually desiring to find more. So TikTok had a lot to do with it, like really being on socials, consuming certain type of content. So for one, I think some people just don't know it exists, or they think it's corny. They don't know it exists at the quality that it exists. Because I think some people associate Christian rap with like some boom bop bop, like something corny. And then for 3, I think I definitely know it is like somewhat considered a demonized, demonic genre in a general sense by some churches and stuff like that, because that's something I experienced heavy when I like started like going viral and stuff, and I was just like thrown off by it. I'm like, I didn't expect y'all to say it was like I expected a lot of stuff, but not like y'all trying to call it demonic and stuff like that. Like it's a beat. I'm literally rapping for God. Like I'm rapping the word. Like I'm like, what are y'all talking about? So I think it's a mixture of those things of why it's probably not in the churches.
Yeah, and that's like an interesting thing too. Is like, on one hand, like I have some empathy for churches that have been timid to accept like Christian rap. It's specifically if those churches are in areas where there is a lot of gang culture or drug culture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I came up in a church like that, a Kojic church that's like
oh man.
Yeah.
I just recently had an experience.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Remember that. So you can say it.
Okay.
But yeah, and it's like, those churches are like, a lot of times they're the beacon of hope in a lot of death and destruction and addiction and trauma, and poverty. Like that's a place, it's a safe place. Like people know they can come. And yeah, of course there's stuff that goes on at every church. It's not good, but I'm just talking about the positive aspect. Like people are safe there. People can get food there. You know what I'm saying? There's community there. Like there's protection for the children there. You know what I'm saying? And so when they're planted in those communities and they've seen all of this destruction and the soundtrack for that destruction has been hip hop, I have some empathy for them being like, this sounds like the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
However, it gets to a point where it's like, you're not listening to the content at all. Like this is not logical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people are like the messages are life-saving, like soul-saving, like centered on God, like positive messages.
It reminds me though of growing up, like I would get in this, like I think even my mom, and she loves she loves my music and stuff now, but like if we would play like a rap song, you know, you had those songs that was real bad and then some that was like okay. And then she'd be like, turn that off. I'm like, you're not even listening. They're not even saying it. It's like just because the beat alone, it was like, nah, turn that off.
Yeah.
But I just had an experience like that. I went to like a event. It probably wasn't the best event for me to be at. It like they had like some real gospel legends and stuff performing there, but it was like a Kojic. Everybody was telling me, oh, this is Kojic. I'm not really familiar with
Church of God in Christ.
Yeah, like the different denominations. But I definitely got like that vibe. But I don't want to make this like a dissing Kojic or anything.
Nah.
But I definitely got that vibe as far as when I started like ministering and performing and stuff. They were like, they felt like my comment section.
Yeah, no,
the bad part of my comment section. But
knows.
Not trying to.
I came out of the Kojic church. Like I have a lot of Kojic supporters. Like I have some people who I highly respect.
And I'm sure no one's like in a box, like not every church in the Kojic church. Same.
But even these people that I'm talking about, they know that the Kojic denomination can be extremely strict. Yeah, that makes sense. And some people can miss things that are really good that God loves. Yeah. Because not because of something that God said, just because of traditions that are in their head. Yes. You know, like, even my Kojic friends, they know that they would say that. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So it just depends on the, like any church, it depends on the people. It depends. Because every church denomination has people that are skeptical of Christian hip hop, like every single denomination. And then every single denomination has people who are like, no, this is like a movement that God is a part of. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it really, at the end of the day, it's going to depend on the person, like listening to the music. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I do think that I believe that there's so much power in like your music, the music that we're doing. And I know you've probably seen firsthand, like how it's affected people's lives. Like, what's like one of your favorite moments or something that a fan has told you about how your music has affected them?
I have a lot of moments, but I'll say anytime I feel like it's a full circle moment, it like hits different. Because for me, and I know every artist, I know everyone that doesn't feel how I feel about this topic. But for me personally, with my walk with God, just because of how personal music was for me, like out of like wisdom and like conviction personally, I felt like God was telling me not to even listen to like secular music that glorifies. Just with that revelation that he gave me, it was like, I can't listen to music that glorifies certain things. Because I personally feel like Jesus died for my sins. So to listen to people talking about sinning and promoting and glorifying is kind of like crazy to me. So personally, around that time as well, I just stopped listening to certain type of music as well. And like I said, I was able to find Lecrae, I was able to find Kanye, and then eventually you and other people. So when people shared that testimony as well, like, yo, CiCi, God was telling me to stop listening to this certain type of music, and then I found your music, and it just like got me through that season, X, Y, and Z stuff. Anytime it's like full circle moments like that, it just makes me again remember like nothing is a coincidence with God. Like nothing is a coincidence. So those moments and it's a lot, but yeah, just those like full circle type moments.
Yeah, I always say that like really like art is about connecting with people and like I think the best art is authentic, is vulnerable, and is used as a connection point. And so it makes sense to me that the moments that resonate with you are ones that like that reflect like the moment you had. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's important to you when people tell you that story because that's who you were. That's what you needed. Yeah. And now you're providing the thing that you needed to other people.
Yeah. That's a good way to word it. You word it better than I word it.
Well, I mean, I mean, it's the same for me. You know what I mean? I've talked to a lot of artists, and usually it's like we make music. We make the music that we wish we would have had.
That's good, yeah.
Coming up. And I use that as like a kind of like a compass, you know, of course, prayer, of course, scripture, and of course, being sensitive to the Holy Spirit. And I add to that, like, is this something that I wish I had like growing up? Because I was a hip hop head. Like, I mean, I still am, but like, man, I was just like, I loved hip hop. It was, you know, other kids, like it's basketball or it's, you know what I mean, it's sports, like keeping up with all the stats, all the players.
Yeah, it was me too. Basketball, it was basketball and rap.
Yeah. Gaming, like there's always something that like people get fixated on that they can remember like so many details about. You know what I mean? But for me it was like music in general, but hip hop, like
you were like one of those people breaking down the bars.
Yes.
Like, this what he meant.
Everything. Like, I mean, a hip hop nerd, like for real. And so, and I grew up in a Christian household, very good influences. You know what I mean? I don't think that I became a Christian for myself until my late teens.
Most people's testimony.
Yeah. Even though I was raised in the church.
Right.
But so, you know, when I was listening to rap, I had this thought of like, you know, I believe in God and I know this stuff is not right and I'm a good kid. So I'm not going to participate in the stuff that I hear in this music, but I just loved like the sound of it and the art of it and the literary devices, the metaphor, the simile, the bars, all this stuff. But I had this belief like, but it's not really affecting who I am. And that wasn't true though.
It's not true.
That wasn't true. Like, especially as relates to interpersonal relationships, because just the environment that I was raised in with my parents, like I wasn't going to be violent or like, I wasn't going to join a gang or like sell drugs or even like take drugs really. So I was like, I'm good. But it's like the way that it made me see the world, the way that it made me see women, especially.
Yeah.
Like the way that it made me see other men, like as like competitors, as competition, as like people to be dominated. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that it made me just those deeper things. It was taking root.
That's good. I don't want to. I want to make sure you're done before I chime in. Because you're talking right. So go ahead.
So I was almost done. I'm basically just saying that, like, it was changing my thought process. And I wish that there was excellent rap that does what we do, that somebody could have introduced me to. And I was introduced to Lecrae as well. He was the entry point for most of us. But it was just him. So it was like, I'm listening to Lecrae and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I think we try to make the music that we wish we had at the time.
No, facts.
Yeah.
What you said is so good as far as, like, I think what you're describing, and it was a revelation I had as well, it almost like it can desensitize you. In a sense to things you should be sensitive to. Yeah. It's like, sometimes the music you're listening to can literally have you like completely desensitized, completely no longer sensitive to the spirit if you are a believer, because you've almost filled yourself up with so much, for lack of better words, like things that are basically like Antichrist. I don't know how else to describe it. So so that's a good point. Yeah. Great points.
And I mean, you said for lack of a better term, I know why you said that, because a lot of people throw out Antichrist for like whatever, politicians, people they don't like all this stuff.
It's anything Antichrist.
Yeah, but like when you break it down, like opposite of Jesus, like of the character and the character and the plan of God. That is
Antichrist.
Antichrist. Yes, you know what I mean? But so I think that a guidepost for a lot of the artists that are listening is this something that you needed coming up, or a need that you see like in the community right now? Because if not, then it might just be a self-serving thing. If it's not serving somebody else, you know what I mean?
And something too, I would say I love about your music, even I haven't got to like play your new one, the new album, like back to back, but I did listen to it through. Yeah. And even the lowercase tape, because you were talking a lot about your like situation. Is that people don't understand too the importance. I think especially Christians who grow up in certain type of churches, the importance of still being like transparent. In your music. Like I say, it's one thing to testify, it's another thing to glorify.
Okay, so talk about that. Break that down.
Yeah, so it's like I'm testifying. If I testify about the fact that yes, I used to be a heavy marijuana smoker. God delivered me. Not only did he deliver me, I was still in an environment for a year that I couldn't get out of financially, to where I was still around smokers, and he still kept me no desire. Like if I'm talking about those things in my music, that's one thing. But to me on the beat, be on the beat saying, hey, roll one up with me, let's get like that's glorifying. Right. But it's nothing wrong with testifying and being actually transparent in your music, because the Bible says we overcome by the power of our testimony. Yeah. So I think sometimes people may think when it comes to Christian music, because I see those comments, I hear those comments like, how is this giving glory to God if the song isn't just like overtly just like a worship song in people's eyes, but it's like, this is still Christian music. Yeah. Like, do you read the Psalms? David was crying out, like he was really expressing his thoughts and his feelings, but the end of the story is always still God is good, God got me through. Yeah. So testifying is important. So I just want to tell you that, like, I appreciate that project that you just did with that.
Thank you. Yeah. And I always think about like the book of Ruth with that, because it's like the book of Ruth, like God is like barely mentioned. Like I think just at
that's why I love the book of Ruth.
Yeah,
too.
just the beginning and end maybe, but like obviously he's all throughout the book. He's implied, but he's not mentioned. This is the discussion of like, is the music explicitly Christian enough, right? Yeah. Whole story's about God, but the way that it's told, like, you don't hear his name a lot. It's told through the interpersonal stories of Ruth, you know what I mean? And Boaz and I don't know why I can't think of she changes her name to Mara, but she has another Naomi. Naomi, yeah. And so, but again, it's like it's showing you the character of God through the life of those people, which that's what you're describing in the music too. Is like with my music, a lot of the times it's more like Ruth than it is like, First Corinthians. Yeah. Where it's, you're seeing the principles of the epistles lived out through the lives, through my life or other people in my life. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's still all about God. It's still all about you. And it also made me think of Paris Carrer's latest project, Take You to Paris. So a lot of people probably don't get like Paris's vision either, because he's very much a narrative artist, more like
storytelling.
Ruth. Yeah, more like Ruth. But man, the effect of it is crazy. Like he's changing his multiple. I know for a fact, like multiple people stop drinking lean because of Paris, because of the testifying versus glorifying, right? He talks about lean in his music. He's not glorifying it at all. He's talking about the effects of it. Like he's actually like on this last, it's fire. Like he's making. I haven't listened to Paris, but I'm about to it makes it cool to put the cup down. You know what I mean? And like he showed messages on his socials, and I've actually talked to him like about people who are like, bro, I listened to that, and I was like, I can't pick the cup up anymore. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? It's like I think that that reaches like God wants to reach certain people through that more than you need both approaches is what I'm saying basically.
Yes, for sure. For sure. I agree. I think I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. So one thing about your career that probably a lot of people have noticed is like I feel like you're going viral like every week. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? What was the first moment that happened for you? Do you remember?
My first really viral post. Yeah. It was actually like a funny video because I did, and this is crazy because I had lost my voice. Like it was like the first time I ever like really lost my voice. Like I couldn't rap or anything, but I was really just getting into like doing content because I hated the thought of having to do content. I'm like, why can't I just do music? Like, why do I have to freaking do content? Like but I felt God telling me like, just grab your phone, post, like just do videos. Don't even worry about it. If it look good, just do it like just to get into more. So just being consistent. So I had lost my voice. So I was mad about that because the type of content I would be trying to do, like I would have to talk. But it had like I did a video on Snapchat with like a granny filter, actually. And I was just dancing to like one of my songs. Like, if I'm not mistaken, that was like my first, like, I feel like it's levels to going viral. Like that post went like 8 million views. Like it went crazy. But it was like me dancing to my song, like mouthing the song like to a granny filter because I literally couldn't even talk. Like a lot of weird stuff had happened. Like I lost my voice. My laptop with my songs and stuff like crashed. Like a lot of stuff happened like right before like I had like my first viral post. But that was like the first like real like viral one. I had other ones that felt like they were viral until one really went viral. And I'm like, no, this is viral. Yeah.
So that went viral on Snapchat, or you just used the filter?
I just used the filter. It went viral on
I was like, I didn't even know you could go viral on Snapchat.
No, it went viral on Instagram. Okay. I think it went viral on Instagram first. The Shade Room ended up posting it. It like went viral. Yeah.
So, like I said, it's like, it feels like every week I'm like, oh, CiCi went viral again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Do you think that you have like figured out a formula for that, or what are your thoughts on that? Like,
I'm not gonna lie, I understand social media very well at this point. But a lot of times I ain't even trying at this point. It just be like stuff just be like, I don't like, I know it's God, but stuff would just like, I just had a post like 2 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, just go viral, like out of nowhere. But I have a formula kinda as far as, and I'll share it because I ain't no gatekeeper. But I like to post on everything. Like I'll post on TikTok, I'll post on Facebook Reels, I'll post on YouTube Shorts. I post on everything. And then normally when I see it doing good, like on multiple platforms, by the time it gets to Instagram, I know it's going to go viral.
So you post on the other ones first? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So
and
that
you
was some free game.
You let that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of artists who watch this who would really appreciate that. But so you know Instagram is like your strongest
I know
platform.
Instagram is like the most.
Or consistent maybe?
No, it like I feel like when you meet people, no one be like, what's your TikTok?
Yeah, that's true.
They're going to be like, what's your Instagram?
Yeah.
So you like your Instagram is like your perfect, like the main account.
Yeah, that's true.
So like TikTok to me is like, I'll spam TikTok.
Trial and error. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And really, if y'all pay attention, I don't know about y'all, but I look at analytics and stuff on TikTok. They don't even push stuff out to your followers. They just push it out. It's just going to anybody.
Yeah.
So TikTok is not as community as like Instagram and these different platforms, but it's like less pressure, I guess, whatever, like on TikTok and these other platforms. So I'll just post and then I'll be like, it did good on everything. So I know it's about to do good on Instagram. But then there is times I'll just post on Instagram and it just go.
Yeah.
I don't even be expecting it to go. It just do it. But I definitely understand social media.
If it doesn't go well on those, then you don't post it on Instagram?
No, I'll still post it. But I'm just saying sometimes I'll know in advance. I'll like be like, I'll know it's about to go viral because it went viral everywhere else. But no, I'll still post it. It just depends on the post. Yeah. It just depends. But yeah, I'll still post it. But yeah.
Yeah. So you said, which a lot of artists share this, like there was a time where you were like, man, I don't really want to do content. I just want to put the music out. Yeah. Right. And a lot of artists feel like that. So what changed that for you, or has that changed? Like, how at this point do you feel more comfortable making content? Do you feel, is it life-giving to you? Have you found a way to make it like not feel like inauthentic for you?
So what made me realize I had to do content was, like I said, I started to discover a lot of artists and stuff on TikTok. And like what I said earlier, I was like, if I don't post, no one's gonna know this is even a thing, because it ain't like I'm seeing Christian rappers on TV or hearing them on the radio and stuff. It's like God basically revealed to me, like, this is gonna be like you have to actually post. So that's what made me be like, regardless of how I feel, I have to post. I did actually start to like making content. Now there are times I don't feel like making content necessarily, but I kind of have found a rhythm as far as just not trying to keep up with the Joneses. That's really my rhythm, is like, because what made me start to not like making content is when I was trying to keep up, like, I'm gonna post every day, I'm a what's name, and it's like, that don't work for you. Like, you ain't posting every day on Instagram. You not like, that may work for someone else to post 3 times a day, but you gonna get burned out trying to post 3-4 times a day. So it's really just,
so some people need to hear that. So so that's not the strategy that you use.
No. Okay. I try to find some level of consistency, whether it's every other day, every 2 days, like something that just works for me. But it's like, I'm not about to be out here like chasing. I don't chase like the internet, for lack of better words. Like, it's just finding what works for you. What may work for somebody may not work for you.
That's definitely true.
Some people you need to be doing that though. Like, you actually have the availability, the lifestyle to where you can afford, you need to really start going hard on social media for a few months or something, but that's not for everybody to be trying to do that. Is what I would say. So yeah. No,
that's super helpful.
Yeah.
With the like success of the virality and the like the way that you do that consistently, is it tough to stay humble? Like, are there spiritual practices that kind of keep you in humility and keep you on mission?
Yeah, I it's not tough for me. I literally just posted this on Threads yesterday. Like, I feel like pride and cockiness come from thinking you did it. Like, it's you. Like, you're doing something on your own. And I'm 100% aware that everything happens for me by the grace of God, just trusting me with this. Like, I don't think it's like me, like, oh, I did this, I made myself go viral. So I don't have any problem being like, because if he wanted to, that could have been done for, because it's been like 2 years now and he still allows those moments. And it's not like every single post is viral, but he still allows like those moments for consistency. So I don't have a problem staying humble whatsoever. And for a while too, because I'm really just getting to a point. I feel like he allowed my character to be intact before that happened too. Like, to where I could actually, because I don't think everyone can handle, because people meet me and they're surprised. They're like, you're not like, they would think I'll be cocky or something like that. And it's like, nah, like I'm a normal person. So I feel like he allowed my character to match the moment before allowing that to happen. Because it was definitely a time where I cared about it. It's like once I stopped caring is when he allowed it to happen. Because for a while I cared. I used to be mad if other people wasn't like commenting on my stuff. I'd be like, they act like they don't see my stuff. Like, I was one of those people for a little bit. And it's like, as soon as I stopped caring, I'm like, are you doing it to go viral? Are you doing it for others? Like, who are you doing this for? And once God like really got my heart in order to say, I'm gonna post I'm gonna do what you're telling me to do, whether anyone sees it or not. Because if I'm doing it for you, that should be my heart towards it. And once that my mindset like got to there, that's when he just started really blessing like the socials. And it happened so fast, I wasn't even ready. Like, I didn't even have like I said, my stuff was going viral and the songs wasn't even out. Like, it was like I'm posting freestyles just thinking, not knowing what was really gonna happen. And it's like, they getting all these views. I ain't even got the music for people to go listen to. So it's like stuff was happening like really fast for me, even faster than I thought it would happen pretty much. So,
man, you dropped some gems right there. Just not chasing the internet. I love that. Not chasing the internet. Like, consistency, but finding what consistency works for you.
Means to you. Yeah.
That's another one. Another good one is maybe you do need to go hard on socials for a time, for a season, you know, but it's not one size fits all. And also like, God, like, he waited until your character could handle, kind of the platform and the elevation that he gave you. And that's protection.
Amen.
That's he protected you in that way, waiting till you could handle that, because it's only his protection that keeps us from being egomaniacs and killing
pride
ourselves.
Pride comes before the fall. He says, if you remain humble, he will exalt us. So
that's
it's
right.
like,
humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God.
And he was, in due time, he'll exalt you. So I feel like, he definitely, that was grace. For me.
For sure. Okay, so it's almost time to wrap up. So that means we are entering the control room.
Okay.
She said, okay. The control room. This is rapid fire questions. Oh, no. All right? And you got to answer the first thing that's on your head that comes to your mind. Okay? All right. What's the weirdest place you found inspiration for your work?
Dang. The weirdest place?
McDonald's, in a park.
I feel like, I don't know. I ain't gonna lie, skip.
She says skip.
I don't know.
This is our first skip in control room, but you know what? I'm gonna honor it. All right. Okay. If you could have dinner with any 3 people in history, who would it be?
I feel like Jesus communes with me daily, so we already eat together. Okay. But I'll say Kobe. Oh, I love Kobe. Yeah. RP Kobe. Any 3 people in history. Jeez, I suck, yo.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You got it. Jesus, Kobe.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Jesus and Kobe, and
that's strong.
That sounds terrible. Like, to put Jesus at the seat with somebody else sounds crazy.
No, I think it's a vibe. I think it's a vibe. I disagree. I think it's a vibe.
Okay. And
one more.
Any 3 people in history. I'm gonna say David, and it may sound cliche, but I'm telling y'all, David had bars and stuff.
Okay, exactly. This is what I tried to tell John Keith.
Really?
Is that David had bars.
Really?
David basically was a rapper.
Yes, he had bars. I'm convinced. Like, people don't think rapping's in the Bible. Like, I'm not even kidding. I've literally read, like, I'll read a Bible verse and start, like, how y'all think we rapping it? It came in a,
Come on.
Yeah, David had bars.
Another John Keith L. We love it. We love it. Definitely clip that. Okay. What's your favorite No Big Deal lyric?
My demons looking depressed.
I actually know that's true for you because you quoted it.
I quoted it in one of my songs.
Yeah.
A song called Right Now.
Yeah.
Trey Gadd.
Yeah, that's No Gas. That
yes.
actually. Okay. And now, final question.
Okay.
What specific problem do you have with John Keith?
I ain't gonna lie. So at Holy Smoke, right? Mm-hmm. I noticed John Keith, he was about to get on stage. Mm-hmm. And he had the same chain as me.
Oh, that's crazy.
I'm like, that's my chain. How did you get my chain? I had a butterfly chain. He had the butterfly chain, and I wasn't feeling that.
That's whack. Yeah.
I was not feeling that.
He actually is known for biting people's styles.
Really?
So, yeah.
And now the craziest part is, I seen him at Glowfest with Miles, and he was like, I like your chain.
Oh, nah, that's crazy.
He said, he might have mentioned, he said, I got one like that, but I think he was capping because he was going to go get one like that. He was like, my girl got me a chain just like that. I was like, and then next thing I know, but he didn't have the chain on.
Yeah, he didn't have the chain on.
And the next thing I knew,
now he's got the chain.
He got the chain. I'm like,
Yeah.
But you know, we live to inspire.
I love it. 2 John Keith L's in one episode. This has been Creative Control. I love y'all. See y'all next time.
See ya.